top of the 6th from Colorado. Leading it off will be Palmer Hutchison, 0 for 2 on the day. Swing and a miss from Hutch on his first delivery from Clay Burke, and he's down the count 0-1. Burke from Metropolitan State University replaced Carter Akerfield in the last inning. So while we were gone, Palmer Hutchison in the 4th inning, there was 2 outs and a slow ground ball to shortstop to third base, made a beautiful barehanded grab and threw it to Pearson for the 3rd out of the 4th. And so far, Jose Velasquez, while we've been on break, has worked a 1, 2, 3, 5th, and 4th. This delivery to Hutch popped up over to the right side, and making the catch in foul territory is Nolan Ackerman. That brings up the DH, Wyatt Divis, who's also 0 for 2 on the day. Larks got a run in the 2nd inning off the Grant Schmidt solo shot, and then were silent in the 3rd and 4th. And with 2 outs in the 5th, after back-to-back strikeouts, Jeminian walked on a payoff pitch. Zach Henry hit a double that scored Jeminian, and then Loomis followed that up with a single into center field that scored Henry from second. Now the Larks lead 3-1 here in the 6th. Burke, the right-handed pitcher, goes home. Slider misses the zone low. 2 balls to Divis. Pearson on deck with Schmidt in the hole for Hayes. It's a called strike on Wyatt. Trevor Munch goes the first 3 innings for Hayes, and Velasquez has faced 6 batters and retired all 6 in relief. And this one, a line drive up the middle. It's a base hit for Divis, his first today. For Wyatt Divis, that is hit number 6 this season, his 4th single, also has a double and a home run. Cam Pearson, the cleanup hitter, at the box now. Cam on the day 0 for 2 with a flyout that was hit well to right field and a strikeout. Swung off the dirt, blocking it is Marino. Warm Sunday afternoon here from outside of Denver. Small crowd, less than 50 people watching this one here in person. It's a strike 2 called on Cam. Swung off speed, low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cam Pearson. Schmidt on deck with Jackson in the hole for Hayes. Davis gets a small lead at first. Burke goes from the stretch. Pearson reads this one all the way right down the middle and sends it backwards off the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Larks cleanup hitter. Back after the technical difficulties that made us miss 1.5 innings. And a tough call. The home plate umpire will punch out Pearson. Second time Cam goes down looking today. To the box now, Grant Schmidt 1 for 2 with a strikeout in the 5th. After 3 straight, Larks struck out, and then back in the 2nd, tied the game up with a solo shot to left field. Burke nods at Marino. Schmidt almost turns inside, and they will say he went. Davis, very small lead at first base, shuffles his way off the bag. This one is Schmidt, hangs in the air and misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right fielder out of Hastings, Nebraska. Grant, a redshirt junior, still has 1 year of eligibility left for the Tigers. This one he reaches for over the outside corner and fouls it back. A 6'3" righty. Played and started for all 24 games for the Tigers back in 2020 and appeared in 36 in 2021. And Grant will be down on strikes. Burke strikes out his 4th. And the Larks get a runner aboard with only 1 out, but can't manage anything across as Larks lead 3-1 here in the 6th. To the mound for his 3rd inning of work, Jose Velasquez out of Cochise College. Faced 6 batters and struck out 1, but retired all 6 in the 4th through the 5th. Velasquez led the Apaches at Cochise with 26 appearances, went 7-3 through 58 2/3 innings. All 26 appearances were in relief, gets a slow ground ball off of Nunez to Jackson at the shortstop, and Pearson makes the dig at first base. 7 straight outs for Jose Velasquez and 9 straight. Sox retired. To the box now, Ethan Lands, the cleanup hitter, playing third base. 0 for 2 today, striking out against Munch and flying out to Grant Schmidt. Velasquez had the least earned runs on the team at Cochise among pitchers with an average of 1 inning pitched per game, and that was 22 earned runs. Struck out 57, walked 34, had a strikeout per 9 innings rate of 8.74, allowed 54 hits and gets a pop fly from Lands out of play. Velasquez comes into this game 1-0 with 1 appearance, 3.33 whip through 3 innings, faced 12 batters in his only appearance, struck out 2 and threw 43 pitches. This one off speed, nice pitch from Velasquez in the zone, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lands. Velasquez only walked 1, left 3 runners on base, hit 3 batters but allowed no hits, and has an ERA of 0 flat. Swung inside at the feet of Lands. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away. Bases empty in the bottom of the 6th. Hayes leading 3-1 on Larks Network. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. Fullerton on deck with Marino in the hole for the Sox. Heater from Velasquez inside, full count. Munch goes 3 innings, and Velasquez has gone 2 1/3 with no sign of movement in the bullpen. Grounded slowly up the middle. Jackson moves towards it, fields it between his legs, and throws to Pearson. Back-to-back ground outs to Cord Jackson at the shortstop spot for the Sox. In 10 straight, Colorado Sox have been retired. 2 from Munch and 8 from Jose Velasquez. Velasquez, a 6'3" freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, and is in a groove here. Fullerton to the box now. 0 for 2 in the day, lined out to Munch for the last out of the 1st inning, and then grounded out to Lung for the last out of the 3rd inning. And Velasquez throws a quick strike 1. Velasquez threw 58% of his pitches as strikes, in his lone appearance coming into this game. That was against the Roughnecks on Saturday, June 5th, where he picked up the win in a start in a 7-inning ball game. Takes a deep breath, gets the signs from Loomis, nods out, it goes home. 3/4 delivery, fouled off. 2 strikes on Fullerton. Velasquez started off 2/3 of the batters he faced with a first pitch strike in that game, and had 59% of the batters out with 3 pitches or less, and strikes out Fullerton here on 3 pitches. Second strikeout of the ball game for Velasquez, number 4 on the season. He's worked 3 perfect innings, and we go to the 7th. Hayes up 3-1 on Larks Network. Top of the 7th, Core Jackson will lead it off for the Larks. On the day, he's 0 for 2, had a home run in yesterday's ball game, and looking to continue his hitting streak right here. It stands at 2 games currently. Burke delivers this one over the inside part of the plate, strike called on Jackson. Jackson batting .200 with a slugging percentage of .400. 5 runs scored, some of those when he was running for Brady Evans, and has driven in 3 runs total. 2 of those in yesterday's ball game. Fouls this one off to the left side of the field. He has 2 strikes on him. On deck, Jeminian with Henry in the hole for Hayes. Burke nods at his catcher Marino, and Clay Burke goes home, and Jackson sends this one to the same spot out of play. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Hayes up by 2 runs. This delivery to Jackson, he swings and misses at one above the letters. Second time he's down on strikes today. So that'll bring up Leo Jeminian, who walked in the 5th and then came around to score to give the Larks a 2-1 lead. And that lead eventually grew to a 3-1 lead. Still 0 for on the day. And that walk from Jeminian was number 3 on the season. His delivery at the letters for Jeminian. 1 ball and a strike to the center fielder from Clarendon College. Leo batted .402 for the Bulldogs this year through 52 games. This one misses a couple inches above his head. One away, bases empty. And Leo will take this one inside. We'll get a count here from the umpire. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dominion. Henry on deck, Loomis in the hole for Hayes. This one's hit hard to the Larks dugout. Larks silent in the first inning. 1, 2, 3, 1 run in the second. 1, 2, 3 innings in the third and fourth. And they got 2 runs in the fifth. Got a hit in the sixth, but didn't score anything. And Jeminian works a great at-bat here against Burke and lines it between Nunez and Lands. And over to the left field side and gets a base hit, his first of the day. For Jeminian, that is hit number 7 on the season, his 5th single. Also has a triple and a home run. 6 runs driven in, 5 runs scored, including today. Henry to the box now, 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, a run driven in, and a strikeout. For Zach Henry, that was RBI number 4 and run scored number 3. Dominion lead at first. Ground ball over to the shortstop, Nunez. Throws it to Adams for 1, and the throw to first base will get Zach Henry, the 2 fastest guys on the Larks roster, or 2 of the 3 fastest guys on the Larks roster, on the base paths right there in an odd double play. 6-4-3, Nunez, Adams to Ackerman will end the 7th inning. The Larks bring 3 to the plate and get 3 outs. They lead 3-1. Jose Velasquez back to the mound for his 4th inning of work. Ground ball to the right side of the field. Grant Lung will be there, but won't be able to make the throw. A tough play for Grant Lung and Cam Harrison. Grant really gave a great effort right there. Just tough play, and it will be ruled a single for Brody Marino. First hit allowed for Jose Velasquez on the season through 6 innings. And that's the first base runner the Sox have had since 1 out in the 3rd inning. So misses low to Loomis. And Mano at the dish. 1 for 2. Walked against Munch in his only appearance against him. And then popped up to Grant Long in his first look at Jose Velasquez. This one fouled to the Sox batter's box. Or excuse me, on deck circle. That looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Wyatt Yarmer. Looks like Tyler Sass out of Central College of Iowa. This one inside to Manmano. 2 balls and a strike on the center fielder. Moreno at first, not a ton of speed. But we'll see what Velasquez wants to do with his back turned to him. Jose goes home, gets a strike called on Manmano. Slider, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sox down to their final 9 outs, down by 2. Larks bullpen looking to do better today than they did yesterday. Swing and a miss, and Velasquez has strikeout number 3 on the day and 5 on the season. 1 away, runner on first, bottom of the 7th. Hayes up 3-1. So it is going to be Tyler Sass pinch hitting for the DH, Wyatt Yarmer. Sass was a courtesy runner in yesterday's ball game, and then he pinch hit for Wyatt Yarmer, who pinch hit for Travis Popenhagen, who pinch hit for Josh Beatty. And Sass came to the box and got a single in his only at-bat on the day. Trey Adams on deck with Grieving in the hole for the Sox, down to their final 8 outs, down by 2. Velasquez goes home, gets a called strike. Good frame from Loomis, 0-1. Still no movement in the Larks pen. See if they want to take Jose Velasquez for 5 innings. This is his 4th inning work, has gone 3 1/3, allowing just 1 hit. This one is grounded to Pearson, who taps first base, and they will catch Marino in a pickle, and Cam is going to dive for Marino and tag him and lose the ball. Umpire still calls him out. That was a risky play to not throw, and Orcutt's going to come out of the Sox dugout and argue that one. Ball did come out as Pearson dove for it, and it looks like the call will stand. It's a double play from Tyler Sass, and the Larks take a 3-1 lead to the 8th. Top of the 8th, Brock Loomis will lead it off for Hayes. New pitcher of the game, Chris Rhodes for the Colorado Sox. His first delivery to Loomis, he sends to left center field. Moving back is Manmano and Grieving. And Manmano will make the catch a few feet in front of the warning track. Well hit ball from Loomis. 1 pitch and 1 out for Rhodes in his first inning of work. To the box now, Grant Long 0 for 3 on the day, looking to continue his hitting streak right here. Rhodes on the mound, a 6'3" righty out of Mesa State University. First delivery to Long, outside 1-0. Carter Akerfield started the game for the Sox, went 4 innings, and then Burke came in, threw a couple, and now it's time for Chris Rhodes. Popped over to the left side off the bat of Long, and moving in from left field is Grieving, makes the catch for out number 2. Chris Rhodes, class of 2020 graduate, and had his first year at Mesa this year. Hutch back to the box now. Palmer Hutchison 0 for 3 today with a pop out, a fly out, and a ground out. Rhodes was listed as the 1,907th right-handed pitcher in the nation, nationally 81st overall player in Colorado, and the 31st overall right-handed pitcher in Colorado, according to Perfect Game in the class of 2020. Went to Lewis Palmer and is getting some action with the Sox this year, his first year with the team. This delivery at Hutchison's shoulder dodges it out of the way, and he's aboard on a walk. Runner on first here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Hayes up 3-1. Prep Baseball report clocked Christopher Rhodes with an 84 max fastball in high school, 84 miles an hour, and a curveball ranging from 64 to 67 miles an hour, a changeup from 70 to 72 miles an hour. It was in 2019. First delivery to Divis, off speed over the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Divis on the day, 0 for 3 with a flyout and 2 strikeouts, both looking. Mesa D2 school here in Colorado. Divis hits a ground ball over to lands at third base, makes a diving stop, and will throw out Hutchison at third base. Larks get a hit in the 8th. They lead with 6 outs to go, 3-1. Jose Velasquez back to the mound for his 5th inning. Has faced 12 batters and gotten 12 outs, allowing 1 hit. First batter he faces is the bottom of the order, the second baseman, Trey Adams. Adams on the day 1 for 2 with a single off a Munch and a ground out against Velasquez. That ground out was to Palmer Hutchison for the first down of the bottom of the 5th inning. Larks up 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th, looking to finish this one out and move on to 5-1 on the season. Loomis sets up outside. Velasquez delivers it to him outside, and a swing and a miss from Adams. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Velasquez now retired to 3 straight and has struck out 4. Top of the order, Jacob Grieving, 1 for 3 on the day, homered off of Trevor Munch to get the bottom of the 1st going, and since then, the Sox have only managed 2 hits and haven't managed a single run. Haven't even got a runner past second base since then. This one misses the zone. 2-0 to Grieving, the left fielder. Velasquez will go from the windup righty versus lefty matchup. Fastball just misses the outside bottom corner. Larks still with their same defensive lineup. Henry in left field, Juminian in center, Schmidt in right, and Velasquez gets a called strike right down the middle. Hutchison at third base, Jackson at short, Grant Lung playing second base, Patterson getting the start at first base, and Loomis behind the dish. This delivery off speed outside, and it's the first walk on the day for Jose Velasquez, his 2nd walk on the season, and Grieving is aboard for the 2nd time today. To the box now with 1 out and a runner on first. Nolan Ackerman, he's the tying run represented right here. 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout against Munch, a flyout against Munch in the 3rd, and then was out against Velasquez in the 5th. This one's fouled back. 0-1 on the first baseman. Loomis gets it up. Velasquez nods at his sign and will go from the stretch. Check over at Grieving at first base, not in time. Patterson will toss it back to Velasquez. Velasquez has now thrown 7 1/3 on the season and has struck out 6 on the year. Swing and a miss from Ackerman, and he's looking to punch him out right here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the first baseman. Velasquez 7-3 at Cochise, all 26 appearances in relief, but has started 1 game for Hayes this year, was scheduled to start today, and then ended up coming out of the pen. Jose, one of 3 Arizona natives on the team, along with Grant Lung, who's playing second base, and Cam Patterson, who's playing first base. Fly ball into right field. Grant Schmidt will make the catch on the run and will pick off Grieving, who got a little greedy trying to get to second base. A double play from Grant Schmidt, back-to-back ending double plays in the 7th and 8th for the Sox. Jose Velasquez has gone 4 scoreless, and the Larks lead 3-1. Velasquez has gone 5 scoreless. Larks lead 3-1 as we move to the 9th. Leading off the top of the ninth for Hayes, Cam Pearson, the first baseman from Cochise College. Game on the day, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. And the first delivery from Rhodes outside and low, 1-0. Looks like the Larks will take Jose Velasquez to the ninth. Bullpen silent. Pearson fouls this one off the inside of his bat and straight back. 1 ball and a strike. Grant Schmidt on deck. Cord Jackson in the hole for your Hayes Larks. This is Pearson's second year with the Hayes Larks. Last year had a breakout season. Led the team in hits and total bases. 77 total bases, 44 hits. Played in all 32 games along with Leo Jiminian. Both led the team in games played. Led the team in triples with 3 and led the team in doubles with 12. Closest player to Cam Pearson in doubles only had 6. He fouls this one off, 1-2 count. Bases empty, top of the ninth, 3-1 lead for Hayes. Pearson leadoff hitter. Two strikes on Pearson. This delivery, he reaches forward and sends it into left field. It's going to drop in front of Grieving. A single for Cam, and he continues his hitting streak right there on that hit. Leadoff base runner for Hayes. That is the first leadoff base runner for the Larks the entire game. Sixth hit of the ball game for Hayes right there. Hayes has walked once, gotten 6 hits, scored 3 runs, and left 2 runners on base. It's been a pitcher's duel here. 3 pitchers for Colorado Sox, Carter Akerfields, Clay Burke, and Chris Rhodes. 2 pitchers for Hayes, Trevor Munch, and Jose Velasquez. Grant Schmidt to the box now, 1 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts, and then had a solo shot in the second to tie the game up. Swings hard at this one, the cut can't make contact with it. Pearson with the lead at first. Pearson, an aggressive base runner, takes a lot of risk. We'll see if he wants to run here or keep the lead safe at 2. This one at Schmidt's head. He ducks out of the way. Only 1 strike on Schmidt right here. Rhodes will get set and go from the stretch. Doesn't even look at Cam Pearson at first base. Goes home, misses above the letters. 2 balls and a strike on the right fielder from Fort Hays State University. One of 2 Fort Hays State Tigers on the roster. Schmidt, before going to Fort Hays, played at Cloud County and led the team in 2019 with RBIs with 51 and was an all-conference honorable mention. Digs into the right-hander's batter's box. Rhodes looks over his shoulder at Cam Pearson. Goes home. Pearson takes off. Schmidt swings and misses the throw. It would have gone Pearson had Adams secured it. And the ball goes into center field, and Pearson goes to third. Leo has some words for Pearson at third base. And Schmidt has a 2-2 count. Two balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner in scoring position for Hayes. Rhodes goes home. Grant swings and misses at this one outside. His 3rd strikeout of the day. And he goes to the dugout 1 for 4 with a home run. And that'll bring up Cord Jackson 0 for 3 on the day. RBIs have come off the bats of Schmidt, Henry, and Loomis for Hayes. Runs scored from Schmidt, Jiminian, and Henry. First delivery to Cord Jackson at his ankles. Dodges this one. 1-0 count on the shortstop from Ontario, Canada. Jackson committed to play for the Nebraska Cornhuskers with Larks teammate Tyler Palmer. This one, he skies to left field. Grieving moves back, looks up at it, and it's a 2-run shot for Cord Jackson, his 2nd home run of this series, and that makes the Larks lead 5-1. Scoring for Cam Pearson. That is Cam's 8th run scored on the season. He's now tied with Grant Lung for the team lead. And Cord Jackson picks up RBIs number 4 and 5 right there and scores his 6th run of the season. He's tied for 3rd on the team. He's 4th on the team behind Grant Schmidt, Pearson, and Lung. Base is empty, 5-1 lead for Hayes. Now a bigger cushion for Jose Velasquez. One away to Leo Jominian, who singled in the 7th, walked in the 5th, scored off the bat of Zach Henry, and struck out in the 2nd. Leo Jominian from St. Lo, France, spent 3 years at Clarendon and is headed to ETSU. This pitch swung on and hit to Adams at second base. Will throw it sidearm to Ackerman, and that's a ground out for Jominian. Now 1 for 3 on the day. That brings up Zach Henry, 1 for 3 with a double and a run driven in, along with a run scored. So Jackson, after starting out slow on the season, has gotten hot here quick. No hits in his first 3 games as a Lark. Friday against the Saints, picked up 2 singles. Yesterday against the Sox, had a home run, drove in 2, and today has a 2-run shot as well. Henry's first look at Chris Rhodes. This one catches the inside bottom corner. 1 ball and a strike on the left fielder from Rockwall, Texas. Plays for the UTA Mavericks. One of 5 Mavericks on the roster for the Larks. 6-foot freshman. This delivery outside. 2-1. On deck for Hayes is Brock Loomis. 2 outs, top of the 9th. 4-run lead for Hayes. Due up to try and make up 4 runs for the Sox will be Nunez, Lands, and Fullerton. Below the knees of Henry, 3-1. His movement in the pen for the Sox. It's a righty. Henry digs back into the left-hander's batter's box and will await his 3-1 pitch. Hitter's count, delivery sent up the middle. It's the 2nd hit on the day for Henry. Single and a double, 1 on with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. So that'll bring the catcher Brock Loomis to the dish. Loses the gear, comes up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a flyout, a strikeout, and a single. Picked up an RBI back in the 5th inning for Loomis. That was RBI number 3 on the year. Henry does have wheels at first base. Has a decent-sized lead, and Loomis sends his first delivery backwards, 0-1. Henry at first base. Time for the team lead in stolen bases with 5. He starts to take off and trips, and Marino will throw down to Ackerman at first, and the throw pulls Ackerman way far from the bag and saves Henry from going into scoring position right there with that snag. Rhodes gets set. It's delivered to Loomis, close to Loomis' shoulder inside. 2 balls and a strike to the catcher from Butler CC. Brock redshirted for Bucco this year. In high school in his junior year, as a senior, was cut short, batted .333, and they will punch him out at first base. Hits a ground ball to Lands. It was a close play at first, but they'll head back to the dugout. Larks get 2 runs off the bat of Cord Jackson, a 2-run shot to left field. 2nd home run of the day for Hayes. He brought home brought home Cam Pearson. Grant Schmidt had the other home run back in the 2nd inning. Larks lead 5-1 as Jose Velasquez comes back to the mound for inning number 6.
Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Jose Velasquez back to the mound for the ninth inning, up by 4 runs. The first batter he faces is Roberto Nunez, the shortstop, batting third. This will be Nunez's second look at Jose Velasquez. 1 ball and a strike here to get the ninth going. Strike 2 called. Jiminian, Henry, Schmidt in the outfield, Hutchison and Jackson on the left side of the infield, Lung and Pearson over on the right side of the infield. Brock Loomis, the backstop, snags that one below the knees of Nunez. And it's a strikeout for Jose Velasquez. And that is number 5 on the day for Jose. 2 away in the bottom of the ninth. Hayes up by 4. That'll bring up Ethan Lands, the third baseman, batting cleanup today. And he will line out to Cam Pearson. That's a quick 2 outs. Now to Maxim Fullerton, 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout, a line out, and a ground out. 2 of those outs against Munch, 1 against Velasquez. Sox down to their final out. This one's lined backwards, 0-1. Sox have just 3 hits, 3 walks, have scored 1 run all day, and left 3 runners on. As for the Larks, 8 hits, 2 walks, 5 runs scored. They've left 3 on base. Munch started the game but only went 3 innings, so takes himself out of the win situation. This would be win number 2 for Velasquez if he can get this final out, assuming he does. 2 balls and no strikes to Maxim Fullerton, the right fielder. Velasquez from the windup, the righty goes home. This one, late swing, fouled back. 0-1. Velasquez nods on the first sign from Brock Loomis. Swing and a miss. Fullerton they will say that is the final out of the ball game. So Brock Loomis goes out and congratulates Velasquez on his second win of the season. The Larks move to 5-1 on the year, and they win here against Colorado Sox 5-1 after losing 9-8 yesterday. Key performances from Core Jackson and Grant Schmidt each had a home run. Jackson drove in 2. Schmidt drove in 1 on his home run. RBIs for the Larks come from Schmidt, Jackson, Henry, and Loomis. Runs come from Pearson, Schmidt, Jackson, Jiminian, and Henry. Larks 5 through 8 hitters all score today. They win it a final score 5-1, and the Larks advance to 5-1 on the season. They're 2-1 in Rocky Mountain baseball play, and they snap their 1-game losing skid. They'll play against the Game Day Saints tomorrow. First pitch at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. We'll see you here for that game back on Larks Network. As for this one, Larks win again 5-1, advance to 5-1 on the season. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. Thank you for tuning in to Larks Network.